from 2019 to now. Tell me about kind of some stuff that's happened. And I mean, it's just very interesting. I don't think many people have heard a lot of the trials and tribulations that you've been through the last 7 years.
Yeah, 2019, I kind of rewind. I bought BAM in 2016 from Mike Johnson, and I knew Riata was kind of tail end of his career, and so I bought BAM and started riding him. I rode him the last 4 nights to 2016 NFR, and so rode him 2017. Went in season leader in 2018. Didn't have a very good NFR. And then 2019, kind of similar. I mean, got it off rolling, won the first round, won the first round, 2-loop no time in the second round. So I'm like, man. And so then from then on, I was just like, all right, well, I've prided myself on my whole career of being like an average roper as far as at the NFR, like be the last guy standing. I'd won the average in 2013. I won second in 2012. I won third in 2010. Like that was my mantra was like, be there and get 2 checks the last day. Well, immediately I was like, well, that's out the picture. If you want to get a gold buckle, you better start going at them. So won third in the second won second in the third round. I won the fourth round, placed in the fifth round on pink night, and then might have placed in the sixth round. I won another round. I don't remember where, but anyways, long story short, the 10th round, I back in there and they're like, if you win the day money, you're going to win the world. And, had the calf that I wanted. I mean, a red baldy. I mean, I loved her. I still got her to this day. She's at my house and, went 7-1 and split the round and lost it by how much was it end up being that day?
What was it? Hold on.
1,200? Or that was 2020.
2020 was $2,000. Jesus, I had this wrote down.
Look, Haven won it that year. He roped awesome. Like credit to him, but it's hard. It's hard because for 2 years in a row, and I hate being that guy shoulda, coulda, woulda type deal. But 2 years in a row, if I'm 7 flat instead of 7-1, and then the next year in the 10th round at 2020, if I'm 7-9 and not 8 flat, 2 different gold buckles. Which
I knew about the 2019 one, but 2020, I didn't know.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. But
yeah,
hey, so he skimmed past it. But 2019 last round, he goes 7-1. He splits the go round. Yeah. If he wins it outright, he wins the world. If Haven goes one spot farther, he doesn't win the world. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that go into it.
Your calf.
My calf gets up at 5:73 that year. I'm 7 in the 10th go round. I'm 7.3 seconds. My calf gets up at 5:73. If he stays down, Shane's the world champion.
Just so many scenarios.
So many different scenarios, and all credit to Haven Medzik because he roped his butt off to go win that.
That was awesome. Rookie year. Who I mean, you guys.
There's just so much crap that goes into it. He's 1/10 off of a world title, and then tell him about 2020.
Yeah, 2020, which, I mean, me and Ty's even kind of like talked about that in depth. Like, 2020 was, of course, COVID year, and rodeos were kind of like hit and miss, this and that. And then what really happened, I ended up not going to, where did I not go in the Northwest?
I can't remember. Was it, wasn't Salmon? It was one of those small rodeos.
It was Tremont.
Yes.
And, but the hurricane had hit, Sulphur, Hurricane Laura. And, I went home and started helping clean up. Me and Timber Moore and Nathan Steinberg had like a cleanup crew. And I mean, it pretty much picked up my covered arena and folded it like a lawn chair, laid it beside itself. I mean, it was Category 5, just destruction everywhere. I mean, the craziest stuff you've ever seen. And so anyways, so go home and, cause really we didn't know much about the NFR, right? Like
we had no idea what it was going to pay.
Yeah.
All we knew was they told us we were going to have a finals.
Yeah.
They didn't tell us about anything about it.
Yeah. And so I was like comfortably in the top 10 or whatever. And so I went home and we started cleaning up and all that. And then, so got to the kind of before that, I didn't have a horse because like I said earlier with Pam, I knew she wouldn't hold her heads like in a big perf inside. And so I just kind of called Logan Bird up and I was like, hey, can I ride TJ at the NFR? And he's like, yeah. And so I went and roped on him. He brought him to the UPRA finals. I rode him at the UPRA finals and then started on him out there in Dallas, and won the average, placed in 7 or 8 rounds. And anyways, last night, 10th go round, I have a really good calf. I'm winning the average. I remember vividly telling myself, all right, if you want to go buckle, you're going to have to kind of let your hair down and go at this one. Or do you want to win the average and you rope for a living? Make sure you secure that average, and that was like 80,000 and was going to be a great NFR. And never really answered myself, honestly. Was just like, let's just see how it goes type deal. And I remember off to the left, 3 swings, wheel her to the outside, flanked her, and she was a great calf. They had put a wrap mahui on her before, and I just put 2 wraps and was 8 flat. And if I'm 7'9", I might have me another one.
Wow.
But that year was crazy, man. Shad was so hot at the beginning, and he did what he had to do, and won the world. So I hate saying like shoulda, coulda, woulda, but that's just the facts. Like, it's just how it is.
And that's what we came here to do, though, is just tell the stories of everything that goes into it.
Yeah, and that's what, just like you said, there's so many different scenarios every year that factors into guys strapping on these gold buckles or not. It's just, it's cool to hear some and figure some out. It's not as cool to live them, though.
Yeah, I can imagine that. What was that like?
Man, it was hard. Like, like I said, one's not enough. I wanted, I want to win more gold buckles. But at the end of the day, I was like, I had to hang my hat on, like, as I do this for a living. Like, that calf gets up and you don't win 80,000 for winning the average. You don't get those bonuses from your endorsements for winning the average. Pat you on the back and say, man, you're trying for a gold buckle, which now I think if I'm in that situation, it's going to be handled a little different. But at that time, I was like, man, how can you pass up 150,000?
Yeah.
So, and reserve world champion or from 19 and then 1/3 that in 2020. So, the stats were there or whatever, but it was just, you just kind of had to be good with it. Just like the year before.
Know
that you backed in the box in 2019, needing to win first in the 10th go round. How many times did we dream of that? And I did it. I split it. But it just wasn't enough, but I did what I had to do in my mind.
So that's December in Arlington at Globe Life Field in 2020. March of 2021, right across the street, same parking lot, American.
Same horse.
I remember the interview. I remember the run.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was big. Counted for the PRCA. 50,000 of it went to the standings in March. That was huge, man. And I don't even know if Houston had started back counting again yet or not in 2021. No. And so, that was a huge, relief knowing that you're halfway there at the NFR in March. And so then confidence was there. I really wasn't stressing about, am I going to make it? Am I not? Like, I just went and roped. And man, that summer was crazy.
Hold on. What happened in 2021 at the American, the interview?
Oh man, well that was nothing really stood out.
Didn't you say he said I was the best roper in the world?
He said last December I felt like the best roper in the world, and I'm glad I could come out there and show that today. It was
honestly it was really like kind of cocky and kind of stupid. Like, I was just in that moment, right? And when I listened to it, I was like, dude, you sound like an asshole. Like, you sound so arrogant, right? And then, but you're just caught in the moment. Like, they just handed you a check for 100,000. And honestly, that was when Hunter Ream's horse ran off for $1 million. And I remember calling him the next day and apologizing to him for the interview and like saying, man, I'm sorry, but I really didn't. I was just kind of caught up in the moment. But I learned a lot from that interview and that victory. But still, at the same time, I had so much confidence in that horse. And I just I remember, I was wearing the number 2 back number at the NFR that year because of that run, Stetson had a number 1 back number at the time. So fast forward into December, like what I was able to accomplish because of the American, it was awesome.
11 days before the NFR in 2021. So 2020 rides this horse of Logan Bird's TJ. Average win, a 10th off a world title. March of 2021, wins the American on that horse. Number 2 back number going into the NFR. 10 days before the national finals, getting ready.
Yeah, 10 days before. I'll never forget it. It was the worst day of my roping career. I was at McCartney's. We were roping. I was going to the UPRA finals that night. I was just going to score some on TJ. And so I backed in there, scored one, rode him up, rode him out, backed in there again, and I was like, man, he went down to like what I thought, like, you know how when them horses will kind of go out of fly on their knee with their head, like, and he went down. I was like, man, that's weird. He's not coming up. And when he went down, he fell broadside with me, and he threw me. I've never told anybody really this besides my wife, and Cody was there, obviously. He threw me into luckily, I missed my head on the lead up rails by like, I don't know, 6-8 inches, Cody said. But he threw me into the lead up. I was in the box, threw me into the lead up, and then so cracked a few ribs. And then when he fell, he had a heart attack, and he was passing away. But he had my left ankle trapped underneath, so I heard it like crack and pop, but I was so like adrenaline. He was on top of me. We were trying to get him off of me. So they finally got me off. Ended up like just spraining my ankle, tearing some ligaments. But obviously the worst part was TJ had a heart attack and passed away. And, Logan and Maynard are up there in Canada. And I mean, the worst phone call I've ever had to make, man. I mean, called Logan. I'm like, I don't even remember what I said. I was crying. He knew something wasn't right. And I was like, well, worst day ever, and you're 10 days away from going to the NFR as season leader with what I thought was the best chance I'd had since 2013 to win a gold buckle, and like for all reasons, like I was so mentally ready leading up to that. Like it was just a formality, I thought. And man, talk about didn't even want to rope. I did not care about the NFR. I was like, it took everything out of me, I think more so because he wasn't my horse, I think that was the most heartbreaking part of it all. Yep. I think I could have stomached it a little better if it was my horse and my deal, but they trusted me to take care of him and to take him and stuff like that. And man, like I said, it was the worst ever. And I didn't have a horse, obviously. I didn't care to be looking for a horse 10 days before the NFR. I didn't care to be roping at the NFR. I was pretty sore, but I didn't let that really bother me. I was more emotionally upset. And I remember Logan saying, man, I know it sounds crazy, but Pesos, he would do good there. I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to go ride a couple horses and see, and I remember roping on them. I was just like, nothing felt good at all. But like I said, mentally, I really was checked out anyway. And then finally, I was just like, come to terms. I was like, you know what? It's kind of meant to be. I'm just going to ride Peso, And so called Logan. I'm like, is he going to be ready? He's drove him from Regina and got over there and breakawayed one on him on Monday and put my saddle and stuff on him. And it was great. And then probably the best comeback story I've ever had was the first go-round that night, winning the first go-round.
That same year?
That same year. And I remember Ty was winning the round, and he got in the box with me, and I remembered I was like, the calf I had, I was like, man, just don't mess up. And I remember when I strung her and put my second wrap on, Ty was yelling. I mean, there's 18,000 people in there, but you got people's voices in your head that you can hear. And he would just give the big yell, like it was over. And I mean, when I threw my hands up, I was like, wow, if that ain't God, I don't know what is, man.
It's freaking giving me chills right there. I mean,
that's
talk
cool.
About, this isn't a horse that he'd ever, him and Peso hadn't gelled.
No, yeah.
Which he wasn't worried about it because he had TJ from he rode of Logan and Maynard's.
Yeah.
But
that I had
jumping on right there in the first go round and winning that round after that, I don't know, like it just gives me chills thinking about
crazy,
it right now.
Man. It was like such a godsend thing, and like I was like, man. So automatically, I'm like, man, am I about to have a chance at a gold buckle now? Like that was huge, man. It just kind of reinvigorated everything for me. Like I was so emotionally drained, and then that one run just took one calf, like we say it all year, all summer, like it just takes one calf, and it happened, and it was perfect timing,
Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy thinking about what Peso is and what he's become. You started all that right there with obviously a great horse, but him winning that go round at Thomas and Mack, and now 4 years later, he might be the most famous calf horse in the world right now.
Oh, he's the most popular calf horse by far.
I mean,
no question about it. And what you two did on him last December did nothing but elevate that. But yeah, I mean, just to show what kind of horse he is for different riders to be able to win on him at all setups and the NFR as much as y'all want on him. I mean, that dude's special.
So 2021, obviously, we know how the story ends. Gold Buckle didn't end up happening, but it's like you're saying the story. It's like this memorable God moment, as you said, but then also a defeat at the end. It's like the turbulent 2021 NFR. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I don't really remember vividly. I mean, Ty might. Like I just remember. I know Schmidt was on fire, and I thought the 10th round I still had a chance, like mathematically.
Yeah.
I just remember I just didn't love really the calf I had, and I do remember figure eight in the back leg and cutting my rope, and it was pretty disappointing ending to the week. But honestly, after the first round, I just kind of struggled. Like I'd placed along and finally did good in the 9th round, and thought, man, maybe I got a chance. But it was just like life and rodeoing, that them 10 days was just like such a roller coaster, So